start this, my first YouTube video. I thought I would talk to you about the D7000 little known features. A couple of things I discovered over the last 5 days. I've had this new camera, which handles very, very well. I'm very happy with it. The first item I'd like to show is the power connector. It is not an obvious placement, but it is at the bottom of the battery door compartment. There you go. Isn't this an odd place? But I guess that's where I found it. This was written in the manual. One interesting feature is the Q, or quiet release mode. If you put your camera in the quiet release mode, what's interesting is as you release and you take the picture, it will lift the mirror up, then take the picture, but it will not release the mirror until you let go of the button. How about that? Isn't that an interesting feature? Also, there is a second IR receiver location on the camera. The D90 had one in the front. The D7000 has one in the back, right beside the multi button there in the back. Also an interesting feature, when you go into the menu, shooting menu, you will find the last item at the bottom is the remote control mode. The remote control mode allows you, in one of the modes, to raise the mirror on your first remote press and then take the picture on the second remote press. That's quite convenient. Didn't exist on the D90, especially if you're using a long lens or let's say a telescope and you don't want any vibration. You let the mirror go up and the vibration dampen, and then you can actually do the exposure. So that's the last one at the bottom there. The second to last is the interval timer shooting. That's interesting. Didn't exist on the D90, and so that's quite interesting. What you can see there is a sub-menu that allows you to set the interval, the exposures, number of exposures, and so on that you want as an interval timer. That's great. You don't need a remote to do that for you anymore. One last feature that I thought was quite surprising is when you are in aperture mode and you select quite a closed aperture for your lens, and you press the depth of field preview button, which is situated here, usually what you would see is just the aperture being closed, and if you have selected like f20 or f32, you would have a very dark view through the viewfinder. Now in this case, if I view it like this and I press the depth of field preview button, that's what I see. But look what happens if I raise the flash. Do you see that? The flash actually lights up the scene because for some reason the camera seems to know it's going to be a very dark image through the viewfinder. So there you go. That's my first YouTube video, and I hope you enjoyed the D7000 little known features.